The Redline 360c is here, setting the new technical standard for driver alert systems that allow you to redefine the road. The all-new design provides extreme detection range and AI-assisted false alert filtering to give you complete red zone protection around your vehicle. Whether it's radar or laser detection or other traffic alerts, you'll get true 360-degree directional awareness. New software-defined radio architecture, combining DSP, a new RF design, and AutoLearn AI, provides exceptional accuracy against false alerts. It offers unmatched ESCORT detection range, 2 times farther than previous models, giving you unprecedented early awareness of what's around you. And the patented Total Shield stealth technology ensures you stay completely anonymous. Redline 360c uses a Blackfin DSP chip with 25 times more processing power, and the ultra-sensitive Telit GPS receiver provides location accuracy within 2.5 meters. And nothing else can offer the real-time community alerts that are shared over 100 million times a year from the ESCORT connected network of drivers. With so much technology packed into one device, the Redline 360c is always ready when you are. Redline 360c. Get ready to redefine the road.
Hello, ESCORT fans. My name is Jason Ferrari, and I'm the social media manager at ESCORT Radar. Before we get started, I just want to take a quick second to say that we really hope that everyone out there is as safe and healthy as possible. And with that, welcome to the exclusive launch of the new Redline 360c. Sincerely, every time I see that video that we just watched, I could not get more pumped about this launch. I think you guys are really going to like what we have in store for you today. We really could not be more excited to share this game-changing driver alert system with all of you. What we're going to do today is we're going to actually get to meet and speak with the team that is responsible for making the Redline 360c happen. We'll answer a few of your questions via chat. And we'll actually see a video showing off the Redline in the wild, and maybe even share a surprise or two with you, which is not a maybe. We're gonna do that. Just some quick housekeeping. If you've got a question, go ahead and chat it to us, and we'll try to respond to as many as we can. Other than that, hope you enjoy this launch event. And again, we're thrilled to be sharing this with you guys. So now let's get to the panel. Today we'll be joined by a panel featuring our Chief Technology Officer, John Kuhn, our Chief Product Officer, Tim Coomer, and our Vice President of Product Marketing and Business Development, Mark Carnes. Together, they will go into both the historical background of ESCORT, which is very cool, as well as the technology that makes the new Redline 360c the absolute best in class. Again, thank you guys so much for joining this event, and let's meet the panel. First off, gentlemen, how are you guys doing today?
We're good. We're excited.
Good. How you doing?
Yeah,
good to be here.
Yeah.
Not too bad. We're all in virtual worlds here, so I think this is probably the first of this magnitude for ESCORT, and I think it's we're gonna be doing more of these. So I'm excited to be a part of it. Thank you guys, obviously, for being a part of this as well. The way that this is going to work today is I'm going to ask a question more guided towards a primary person and kind of like their department and function, but everyone will be offering their thoughts. We have a list of prepared questions, but we're also going to take some questions from some people at the end that you put into the chat window. And if for some reason we're not able to get to all of the questions, there will be some people from the ESCORT team in the chat window that are kind of getting the information that you're looking for. So with all that being said, let's get to some questions. I know people are super pumped. They've been waiting for this product for a long time, and the time has finally come. So let's kind of dig in to a little bit of the history of ESCORT and how we got to this point with the Redline 360c. I think, Tim, this would be good for you. ESCORT's been a leader in radar in the radar field for over 40 years. Can you kind of give a little bit of background of how and why it all got started?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is really an American business story. And so, we all talk about 2 guys in a garage that start a business and turns into success. This is exactly what happened with ESCORT. 2 engineering students at the University of Cincinnati were working at an electronics company. They were electrical engineering students. And at the time, this would have happened around 78, around that time. There were some detectors, we'll call them, in the marketplace. They were very passive devices. They weren't very good. The technology hadn't really been challenged or improved. And these two guys found a way to make a better mousetrap. And so they started tinkering in their garage. They put a little money in from one of the dads, and started this company called Cincinnati Microwave, and the first product was actually called ESCORT. So I think from that point forward, ESCORT, Cincinnati Microwave, is known to just continually improve the products, continually to outdo themselves every couple of years with technology. And it's been a fun race. I have to say, I joined the company in 1980, so most of my career has been in the radar detector market, and very passionate about the space, car enthusiast, and it's been fun to see. And this Redline 360c is going to surpass anything that we've ever done before, and I think people are really going to like it.
So what you're saying is we've come a long way from the Fuzzbuster.
Absolutely.
For those of us who remember that gem from back in the day.
Yeah.
Mark, this one's for you. Cedar and ESCORT, as a thought leader in the industry, what are ESCORT's core beliefs and values?
So our core mission, for the company is to help drivers drive smarter and safer. And, to each driver, driving smarter is going to take on something unique and different, based on their driving styles, their needs. But in the end, being able to provide information and awareness for the driver to make the right decision is what we're all about. And since we are the leaders in this space in every regard, our mission was to continuously top that and reinvent and redefine, the next evolution in the detection business. So we're committed to evolving, simply beyond what was the radar detector business to actually becoming detection and driver alert systems, where we can provide information about what's going to happen down the road before you get to that space. That we can connect other drivers so that they can share information with each other. We can provide multiple sensors, processing power, and things to be able to deal with today's world, which includes, all the autonomous vehicle technology that is coming down the road, to include almost every vehicle coming off the assembly line today with a level of ADAS systems for driver safety, like blind spot monitoring and forward collision warning and adaptive cruise control. So in order to vet out all of those particular variables, we've got to build something that has the intelligence, the mobility, the processing power, and the connectivity, as well as the best levels of sensors possible to make that all happen.
Okay, and I think that actually leads pretty well to the next question for Tim. You kind of alluded to the the connected car story and the driver awareness and driver alert systems, including the new Redline 360c. Where are we heading next in terms of the connected car?
Well, I think what you're seeing is a migration for information into vehicles, and we have cars on the road today that can have software updates over the air. Certainly, our detectors are doing that now. We put intelligence in there that we can pass updates to our customers automatically through Wi-Fi. And so, part of our strategy as a company, not just on the radar detector side, but you'll see that across other categories that we play in, where we're passing information and we're keeping things up to date as much as possible for all of our drivers to keep them safe.
Okay. And we know that a lot obviously went into getting the new Redline 360c to the market. What went into putting the team together? I mean, this takes a lot of people, from engineering to production. I mean, just if you could go a little bit into kind of how the team all came together to get this launched.
Yeah, I'll start, and then I'll have John jump in, obviously. But as I said a few minutes ago, we're known for technology, and so over the years we've gathered a pool of just smart people in their respective fields, from DSP to embedded software to Wi-Fi communications, Bluetooth communications to microwave engineers. And we're lucky that these folks are with us because we don't contract stuff out. They're core here. They continue to do research. And obviously this product started, a couple of years ago, and these core folks and John's team really put their heads together and said, what can we do next? How do we make it better? How do we continue to push the envelope in detection? And this product represents that. So I asked John to talk about his team a little bit. It's a pretty impressive group.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. So, we've been building radar detectors for a long, long time. I've been here 25 years, going on 26. And since that time, even back in the late 80s and early 90s, we've been using digital signal processing in our products. And with that, that started out to allow us to get really good sensitivity in our products to make really high performance products. And so, if you look at our engineering team, we have DSP people who are super great at doing DSP work. We've got really great microwave engineers that have been with us a long time. We've got great software guys. So we've got a great team. And I think if you've seen our products, they look great. We've got a great mechanical team. And they've been doing this a long time. And so, I think our average, I'd say on average, we've got people who've been here 20 years or more, and a lot of great skills. And so we're starting to apply some of the newer techniques, and we'll get into that a little bit later on the Redline product. But as far as the team is concerned, I think we've got the best team of engineers in the industry. And they just do a great job at what we've been doing. And I think that shows in all of our products.
Okay,
and Jason, I
yeah.
really, wouldn't want to just rule out that we've got some of the best customers in the business as well. And you can't go 40 years in this business and not have dedicated, passionate, and enthusiast customers who come to us constantly and say, hey, I'd really like for you to do this, and could you improve on this? And if you could only make something like this, this would be my ideal. All of that feedback, has been brought into this particular design and our initiative. So when our customers are able to actually see it in person and see what it looks like, take it out and drive it, I think they're going to be well pleased because their feedback has been well received and incorporated in these designs.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I've actually been fortunate enough to see it firsthand. We were able to go test it out, and we'll be releasing some content based around that in the future, but it never went off, and that's not because it wasn't working. So I'm really looking forward to our customers getting to enjoy that too. So John, this one's for you. Kind of moving forward from what we're talking about putting the team together, is obviously there's a pretty significant undertaking to come up with something that is considered game changing and the best that we've ever put out. So if you could kind of go into what was the level of research that went into its design and its functionality.
Sure. And maybe we ought to start a little bit with Redline. And the original Redline, we launched it in 2009, and we call it the Redline. And it was really started from Tim and the group coming to engineering and say, hey guys, we want a professional series product, and Redline is going to be our professional series. And I think by professional series, I think what that means are either people who drive for a living or people who are just passionate about driving for a living, who love cars, who love, I won't say love to go fast, but really enjoy driving. And then there is the professional side that drives for a living. And I think the goal was to target those customers, the guys who just live and breathe cars. And so 2009, we launched a product, and we called it the original Redline. And the goal was to be the most sensitive, to be the best product out there, to really perform well. And I think we did a pretty good job of that on that product. And that product was based on a lot of the old analog designs that we had done in the past. And then in 2017, we wanted to launch the next generation of Redline. And so we launched the Redline EX, and that product had more features, more capabilities, still based on the old analog design. Still a great product, and a lot of I mean, still to the day, most people drive it. It's got great sensitivity and great performance. It's also a stealth product, and we'll get into that in a minute. But in 2017, Tim came to us and said, guys, we need the next generation of radar detectors. And so we need better performance. We need total connectivity. We need no falsing on the product. And we need it to pick up everything that's out there today and something that's configurable for the future. And so that's what Redline 360c is. And so if you ask the question of, well, what is it? What have you done better? What are the new features of the product? It's a completely new platform. And by platform, I mean, it's something that's never been done before by us. It's a completely software-defined radio platform that's reconfigurable. And I know, a lot of people may not know what that means, but the goal is to try to take this signal and get it to a digital format as quickly as possible. And what that allows us to do is then change things and update things and make modifications and performance improvements all in software. In the past, if some new feature would come up or a new threat would come up, a lot of times you had to change the hardware, and that meant a new product or a new design. This is going to allow us to make modifications, and this will be a great product going forward that we can continue to update and make improvements to. And if new threats come out, we can update and add those features. So I kind of talked about 3 key areas that I think our company focuses around, and that's performance, sensitivity, raw sensitivity. And this product is 6 dB better in sensitivity than the old Redline. So quite a bit of an improvement in sensitivity. We're getting to or exceeding the performance of our remote products, our high-end remote products. I mean, this is just a game changer that we're putting together. So much better sensitivity on all 3 XKK radar bands. It's also stealth, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that because a lot of people, don't really get the whole stealth product. And if you look at our product, there's 2 ways of getting stealth. There's a gun called the VG2, and there are versions of that, later versions of that VG2. And what that is that's it's a gun that police use to pick up radar detectors. So if radar detectors are illegal in your area, then they're able to actually mount this in the car just like a real radar gun and tell whether you have a detector in the car. And what a lot of people have done in the past, and we used to do it a long time ago, was just move our all radar detectors, if they're designed normally, they radiate signals, and you're able to be picked up with this VG2 gun. So what we tried to do is to come up with a design that didn't emit any signals at all, any microwave signals at all that could be picked up by this VG2 gun. And a lot of other competitors, they end up moving their oscillators so they're not picked up. But there's a good chance that in the future, if the VG2 people who are making those products, if they create a new gun, they're going to be picked up. So our competitors are constantly moving, but they constantly have to dodge around. On our design, we don't emit any signals at all, and so there's going to be no gun that can pick us up. So really good feature. That's a real tough design goal for us. And this product is 360. So we cover front and rear. And because it's 360, now we have to make both the front and the rear antenna stealth. So that was a huge design feature that Tim wanted. And so the way we did that is using low noise amplifiers and waveguide filters. So what you'll find is all the antennas in the product have a low noise amplifier built into them. They all have a waveguide filter so they don't emit any signals. And that also gives us really good sensitivity. So we're talking about sensitivity, 6 dB better. That's for people who don't understand that. And in free space, if you didn't have anything interfering, or you didn't have any curves, you would get twice the alert distance that you normally would. And that's free space. You don't get that normally in real life, but sometimes you can come really close to that. So definitely a sensitivity improvement, 360 LNAs for stealth. And then there's the whole issue. As you get more sensitivity, you also get more falsing. So we've taken this software-defined radio platform, add a digital signal processing to it, and we're able to reject all these collision avoidance signals, we call them, and they're actually blind spot monitors on K-band in all these cars. And that's been a huge challenge, not just for us, but for our competitors. And what happens is these are in most new cars today. And when you put this in a new car, you know, which they're built in, now all of a sudden you've got K-band sources being received by the radar detector, and you need to be able to reject these. And it's been a huge, huge challenge for I think everyone. And on this new model, you know, the question is, we want as little falsing as possible, and I think we've achieved that. So we've been working really hard on eliminating any types of falsing, both the blind spot monitoring falsing, or any other types of falsing. Door openers, you know, we have built-in GPS in our products to be able to do that and lock those signals out. And so, you know, we also have some new modes. We have a new auto mode. So auto mode works better out on the highway now. You get better sensitivity in auto mode. But in the city, the product is still quiet. We've added that in. We still, you know, we've added in over-the-air updates on this model, Bluetooth connection. So now you can do over-the-air updates, and we're looking at providing those in a much, you know, in a timely fashion. As soon as we see other problems, other issues, other threats, we're able to provide those over-the-air on Wi-Fi. We're able to update our database over-the-air automatically. We're able to also communicate with our app. And more importantly, what you get with those features, I think if you use some of our other products, is you get real-time alerts. And so if you look at that, you know, now Redline has real-time alerts with Wi-Fi. And that's just a great feature to have. You know, if somebody's driving ahead of you and gets hit by laser, it's really nice to be able to know that. And so we feed that back to the user who may be down the road behind the car that got hit, and you're able to automatically slow down and you know, get around that threat. So those are you know, just a few of the features in the product. But I think if you look at our core, you know, what we're all about sensitivity. We're all about having a quiet ride, and we're all about connectivity. So you can get information out ahead of you, provided back to you, and you get all these alerts and make you, you know, gives you the safest drive, and also the you know, the drive that keeps you from getting a ticket. So.
Yeah, and I think you hit the nail on the head with, I think the technology is changing, so it's not just about avoiding speeding tickets. It really is about driver safety, especially, you know, with the connected car system. A lot of people on this panel, or excuse me, on this launch event are previous Redline customers, and I know you highlighted some of the, you know, the main new features, but I don't know if people really understand how significantly different this is from the Redline EX. If you could kind of just go over that for everybody.
Sure. Yeah. And if you compare this to the Redline EX, I think, as I said, sensitivity is much better. And I think that's what people expect from us, is better sensitivity. And we've done that with this model. You know, we have, I think I talked a little bit about a software-defined radio and DSP. Everything now is pretty much done in software. So we load new software. We've got a completely different type of detector, and we're capable of doing quite a bit with that. And if you think about it, you know, we're developing in a very different way. When we launched the Redline EX, there weren't that many cars out there with blind spot monitors in them. You know, today every car at least offers that as a feature. And you know, almost all cars are going to have them going into the future. So there are, you know, way more of these signals than there ever used to be. So falsing, you know, compared on the old Redline with an analog design is much worse. I mean, that product is more noisy, and this is a huge difference in false alarm rates. So, you know, just as our example is, we do development very different right now. We can go out and we can sit next to a road and we collect data, you know, and we've got 3,000 or 4,000 of these collision avoidance system logs And we're able to take those back and use a little bit of AI on the computer and create sort of a footprint on what these all look like and how to reject them. And then we're able to actually play those back through our system and test every one of them and see how well the performance of the product works. So much different way in the way we develop products today than we used to. We let a lot of, the computer programs and AI do a lot of the heavy lifting for us. And we do a lot of data collection and running them through our systems. And it's an everyday process, because if you look, some of these blind spot monitors, they change every year. So, you would think they stay the constant year to year, the signatures look the same. They don't. They change even from the same car manufacturer. So you have to always be on top of that. And we realize that's going to be the norm going forward. So what we're trying to do is be able to go out and data collect quickly, provide that information back to customers, that these are truly blind spot monitor signals, and here's the pattern, here are the patterns, and you can just do it with a software update. So that's a key feature that is very different in this platform. Stealth was a challenge, and it's an expensive challenge. I think everybody knows that who's really has used our products in the past and known it. LNAs are very expensive. To be able to do stealth and do it well and do it correctly, real challenge. And those LNAs are not cheap, but man, do they work. They give great sensitivity, and they keep signals from being emitted out of the front and the rear of the antenna. So that was a real challenge for us. It was a research project. We've been working on it a little bit, and it's sort of like the new Redline on steroids as far as front rear antennas. The microwave sections are even more complicated, and that was a huge challenge. But most of it now is, a lot of the work is done in software and data collection and software, and just making sure we've got great performing products. And so I'd say those are the two. What we're most proud of is more sensitivity, but improved falsing. And then, all of our products now, every one of them are connected. And this one has every possible connectivity feature and update feature that you can get. And I think that's what makes it a great product. I think people are really going to like it.
Yeah, I was just going to add, Jason, it's interesting that, to watch John's team over the last, 10, 15, 20 years, for the longest time, all the manufacturers just racing to get the most performance, the most sensitivity as they can. And really, when it comes down to it, and I've driven just about everything else that's out there, and some of them will just drive you crazy. I don't need to know where every door opener is. I don't need to know every car that's got a collision avoidance system on them. And so I think the important thing here is that we equally weight on the design side, not only performance, which equates to sensitivity in the longest range that we can possibly get, but we're also tying that to what's the driver experience. And let's make sure that, you don't ignore the threats that we're alerting to, or it drives you crazy and you don't use it. And I think that's what makes ESCORT a little different. We're all about the user experience and making sure that we're delivering the products that people want.
And
Yeah,
to
and
that end,
go ahead, Mark.
The user experience, by having that level of Wi-Fi connectivity, and if you own a connected car or simply park into your garage and you've got your own home Wi-Fi, we're able to get all of that state-of-the-art technology to our drivers, as it is available. And that's so important, because everybody can count on having a state-of-the-art unit at all the time.
Good point.
Right. I think one other thing, a couple other points I wanted to bring up on this for some people that I would expect that they would ask is well, does the product work with your laser jammers? And the answer is so absolutely. So they work with the ZW5, they work with the ZR5s, just the way they always have, just a plug-in direct wire cord. So they work with all the past all of the past mounts and things like that. And I wish for those of you who haven't seen the magnet mount, I didn't bring one, but I have the detector here, and I just want to give you guys an idea. People want to see it in somebody's hands. Here, I think this is Tim's group did the design, the ID on it. I think they've done a great job on it, and you guys will see more of it online. You probably see it better online. the same rear antennas that we normally use. These are basically just kind of, they direct, kind of focus the microwave signal. Front panel, and I don't have it lit up right now, but here's the this typical rear antenna horn. So I think it's a great looking unit, and we do have our patented magnet mount on this product. Just snaps on, snaps off. I have one. Maybe I'll run over here in a minute when somebody else is talking, just to show you guys, because I think it's a really cool feature, especially if you want to take the product off the windshield. Been getting great reviews with that. So, but I think one of the things Mark and Tim have been focusing on, or keeping us plugged in and involved with, is databases. And if you think about this, we have a huge user database, meaning that we've got a lot of people out there driving detectors and reporting anonymous alerts back to us. And the question is, we've been doing this for a long time. We started in 2011 with a BLE cord that we started launching, and then we baked it into every product that we have, and then we added Wi-Fi. We've been going at this a while. And if you look at the databases, we have these huge databases of alerts and signals, and they've challenged me and my team. So what do you do with those? And so we do have, I believe we have the best database of speed cameras and red light cameras, and we provide real-time police spotted automatically report back to people who are driving. We have a great speed trap database, and we're getting smarter about those speed traps. So we're able to use, with the buzzword today is, AI, artificial intelligence, and we're able to use some features in artificial intelligence to come up with better speed traps and better speed trap locations, and look at things like time, and look at things like direction, and look at things like how big are the roads and how many cars drive. I mean, just a lot of things that we haven't been able to do in the past, and we're that's our next big challenge, and all these features are coming out into these new products. So I think you shouldn't underestimate the connected side of the products, because I think that's where a lot of this is going to be very helpful, and especially on the laser alert. So really a great feature. So I just wanted to point that out.
Great. And I actually have one more question, prepared one. Then we're going to go to some of the people who are attending in the chat window. I'd pose this to the whole panel. I think, from what everybody can see, that we're all very proud of this product, and we believe that this is the best driver alert system ever made. Really, what makes us so confident?
Well, I'll start, and I'll let these guys jump in, because they're much better at that than I am. But I mean, from a technical point of view, there isn't. First of all, there's no detector out there that has all these features. That's true stealth. That's true 360. That has great sensitivity and has great connectivity. I think we've kind of hit on those things, and maybe we beat them to death. But I think first of all, there is no product like that out there, and I think that was the goal of Redline. That's always been our goal on the Redline product, is to be very unique, very different. We want to lead the industry. We want to have every capability and feature in those products that we possibly can. And I think this is one that we've done it again, where no one else has those features. So
yeah, I think that's right. I think I would just add to, I keep coming back to it. It's just the combination of performance and anti-falsing. Every year, as John said, there's just more and more stuff. And sensitivity is a double-edged sword, and these things can drive you crazy if you're not spending the time and the development and the research to get rid of the erroneous signals out there. So I think we're all proud of the work that we've done. I think customers are going to see that this product is like no other that we've delivered to the marketplace in terms of all the things that John talked about. So we're excited.
And I think the fact that it rolls into being able to provide all the cloud, the community, the database elements from third parties, the information looking into the future, it's not only what we've done to be able to provide the most state-of-the-art product of its time, but it's also built for the future view of being able to incorporate all the machine-to-machine and AI technologies that John has provided. And we are able to provide this opportunity for customers to come and join an already extremely active network that is now tied together with multiple brands and multiple devices to provide more information than ever before.
All right, thank you for that, gentlemen. Now we're going to jump to some attendee questions. Actually, I've been looking at them, and some of them, I think, John, you addressed. Someone is asking if this uses the same patented easy mag mount.
Yeah, sorry,
yes.
I went and grabbed it while I was off screen for a second. So I don't know if those of you guys who haven't seen this, this mounts on the windshield. It's a great suction cup, and the product just comes up and snaps right in. I can't do it justice here, but I mean, super easy, super solid on the windshield, and we've been shipping this product in all of our new models, and we have patents coming out on that particular design. So really love that feature and capability.
And it makes a very stable platform for adding the M1 Wi-Fi camera to it.
See, it's like you guys know the questions, all right? Someone actually asked questions about the compatibility with laser shifters, which I know that you addressed. Did you want to go into that any further?
Yeah, if you've used those products in the past, they work exactly the same. So you can install laser shifters in the front of the car, in the back of the car, in the front or the back of the car, and there's a single wire that runs up to the windshield mount, and you just plug it in like you normally would your regular cord that would go into the cigarette plug lighter. Instead, it can be a direct wire. You can run it up and do a really great install if you want to do it that way. And it plugs in and it automatically reports if you get hit by laser. It functions the same as all of our other products in that it will automatically jam if you have it turned on. It will also receive, and it will give you an alert so that you can slow down. And it's all done right on the screen of the radar detector. So it uses the radar detector as a display. So you don't have other things in the car you have to worry about. You just jump in, plug in your detector. You got radar capability. You've got laser shifting capability, and laser features that are built in the front and the rear of the car. So.
Okay, and to Mark's point, there also was a question about the M1 dash camera and its capability or compatibility. Excuse me.
Yeah, and it's fully compatible with the M1, and M1's compatible with almost all of our products as far as I'm aware of. So this is as long as we can mount to the mount and plug it in the side, it's a great add-on product, and it's fully compatible.
All right, I've been waiting for this question. What is the performance range? I know that conversation is out there a lot.
Yeah. So this is a hard one, and it's not hard for us, right? It's hard for anybody. Think about the simplest way to talk about this is think about when you drive around in your car and you're listening to the radio, right? There are locations where signals are weak. There are locations where signals are strong. And a lot of that's based on terrain. It's based on hills, based on how far away from the transmitter you are. Well, all those things come into play in the same way when in a radar detector. So, if there's terrain, if you're going around the bend, clearly you're not going to get the same alert distance that you would if you're out in the desert in a straight, you have a clear shot and a clear view of the transmitter. We can go out in the desert. We gave up. We used to test out in the desert, and we would get ridiculous, distances of 10 miles. And we got to a point where we couldn't find a flat spot. We just can't find a flat spot that's flat enough because the sensitivities have gotten even better. So to be able to test that, that's probably not as real world anyway. But so what we've done is we do a lot of comparison testing where you put a couple products on the dash and you go driving. And as long as they don't emit and talk to each other, then you're in good shape. So if you want to compare to our current products, to the products that we make, this is by far the best dash mounted product we make. It's better than the Redline, the original Redline. It's better than the Redline EX. It's 6 dB better than the Redline EX. It's on par or better than even a Max CI product. It's right there. I mean, this is, but the advantage here is brand new platform that we can upgrade over time and make improvements. So our goal is, hey, can we squeeze more sensitivity out of it? Can we make even more, false alarm improvements on the product, and can we upgrade that? And that's where we're headed. So it's not an easy question to answer. Is the bottom line. I can't say, well, you get 10 miles of, that's meaningless for most people, right? So, but it's better than anything that we have in Dash right now.
Yeah, I mean, you see those conversations going on in a lot of the forums, and it's, I know there's no like exact science or exact answer to it, but I know people have that curiosity.
Well, just one more point is a lot of
sure.
people, and it's even a much harder, you could talk about this for hours, but if you look at some detector designs, some people have a really, you can change the antenna so that it has a much better beam width looking down the road, right? You can focus all of the viewing down the road. And the benefits of that are, well, you don't see the door opener off to the side that you don't really care about, right? And there are trade-offs. Well, is there a police that's at a 45-degree angle a mile away? So there are all these type of trade-offs. So direct straight ahead sensitivity isn't necessarily everything. And you can't just compare those numbers. You have to drive it for a long time and get a really good feeling, because there are times, and I don't mean this, we compare all radar detectors. We drive a lot. That's what we do. So you have a lot of units on the dash, and there are times when someone, just by chance, one picks it up faster than the other, or the other one picks, but overall, if you look at this product is way better in sensitivity, and it beats all of the current products that we use.
Okay. I know that this is something that we've talked about as a company, and this is actually a question it's a good one, I think, with the appearance of multi-radar threats. And I know in US and I think Canada as well. Is that something that the Redline 360c can address?
It does. We spent a lot of time on that, and so just a little bit of history is that multi-radar is used quite a bit in Europe. There are many thousands of cameras that are used over in Europe, and they're usually fixed mounted cameras. They mount on overhead. They look very much like a toll booth in many cases, but they mount them behind a sign. And as you drive through there, they shoot your car, measure your speed, and send you a ticket via a picture. And what happened is in the US, they're starting to come in here, but they're coming in as fixed either speed cameras or red light cameras. And there are some in the US, and there are also some in Canada. And, we kind of give you the information on both sides. We give you, if it's a fixed camera location, we actually alert you to it because we have GPS, and we're able to give you a camera alert automatically anyway. But if you turn multi-radar on, we also pick up multi-radar. So you can view it either way. And the reason we do that is because we believe that there's no reason why there can't be multi-radar mobile cameras. There are in Europe. There's no reason why they can't use those over here. So we want to be prepared. We want to make sure that if they are here, there are rumors that they're here. We haven't proven that there are the mobile cameras yet, but if they do come, we want to be prepared for them. So we've added that feature into our detector. And one of the curiosities is, if you look at the hardware that they use for those cameras, it looks very much like a blind spot monitor hardware. So, they may be some tie to the people who designed it, but the modulation methods that they use are very similar. So what that means is it's very hard to pick up a multi-radar signal, but reject a blind spot monitor. And so what you'll find is on a lot of products in the past, everybody's products, if you turn on multi-radar and drive around, you get a lot of blind spot monitoring false. So we've spent a lot of time trying to eliminate that, so that you can get, there's always going to be some falsing, but it's just so much better than our old products. And I think that's what sets us apart from a lot of our competitors. A lot of competitors have it as a feature, and if you turn it on, it drives you crazy. And, I think that's true of everybody's products in the past. I think this one is, hey, this is pretty good, and it's only going to get better. So, and we want to make sure, when multi-radar comes, we're ready when they come with mobile cameras, and I think it's coming. I think there's no reason why they wouldn't put those out. So
yeah, and I would just add, if you think about all the features that have gone into this product, and you just take multi-radar, for example, or these fixed portables, if they deploy here in the numbers that we believe at some point they will, not only can we detect it, but it's going to show up in our database. We're going to alert you to it. And then if you're connected to Escort Live, you can have other drivers alert you to them before you get there. So there's a threat. We've got 3 different ways to alert you to this. We're all about making sure these platforms are future ready. And I think that's a great example of a potential threat that may get deployed here. We're ready if it does.
yeah, great point too.
I think that is all the questions that we have so far. Actually, before we wrap up and make some announcements, is there anything that I'll throw it again to the panel that you any last thoughts that you want to share about the new Redline 360c?
Just I want to jump back to a point I just made. I did have this. I dug down in my folder here a minute ago because I was curious, but I do have the latest numbers that I have for the multi-radar in the US are approximately 200 cameras right now. And in Canada, it's about 180 cameras. And I think they're coming fast and furious. And, it's pretty much, if you want to put any of these cameras in place, this is one of the big players, companies called Genoptic, that makes these cameras. And so I think you're just going to see that grow as far as, so I just wanted to make that point that it's not just 1 or 2 of these fixed camera locations. There's quite a number of them right now. So sorry, I didn't mean to, yeah. Go ahead,
all I can
Mark.
say, Jason, is just wait till you get a chance to see it. It is so cool looking. The way it responds, the lights, the way it looks, you're going to fall in love with it the minute you mount it.
Yeah, I saw it during the day and it was still cool. I can only imagine what it looks like when that red shines up at night. And then the packaging's really cool too. This is I feel like it's kind of a hard goal to achieve to make some, auto electronics be sexy, but I think we did it, honestly. Let's see. Okay. Nope. So I think, nope. No more questions right now. So I guess we can wrap this up. Oh man, that was awesome. Thank you so much to the audience for joining us and for the great questions. And special thanks to our panel, John Kuhn, Tim Coomer, and Mark Carnes, for taking the time to discuss the new game-changing Redline 360c. We've got a little surprise for one lucky person who attended today's event. After the event concludes, we're going to pick a random winner to get a brand new Redline 360c, and we'll let you know via email. And of course, it would be awesome if you could share the good news on social and tag us. We also want to make it extra special for you guys and are allowing you to actually see the new Redline online before it's made available to anyone else in the general public. Right now, we've set up a special page for you. So all you need to do is go to escortradar.com/redsetgo, and you can check it out. And for those of you who are interested, we're going to throw in a free 3-year subscription to our Defender database if you decide to buy a Redline 360c. All you need to do is use the code REDSETGO when you check out. And to wrap things up here, I just, again, want to say thank you all for being a part of this. This was super fun, super informative, and we are so pumped. And we believe in the Redline 360 so much, and we know you will too. And to cap off today's event, as promised at the beginning, you're going to be able to see the first ever ESCORT Redline 360 in the wild video, which was really fun to shoot. And just stay tuned and subscribe to the ESCORT YouTube channel, because we have a plan for a lot more cool videos in the future. And again, just one last thing, everyone, please continue to stay safe out there, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Hi, I'm Ray Wolf. I'm with ESCORT Radar. We're going to take the Redline 360c on a ride today in the wild. Now let's get this bad boy set up so we can get ready to ride. So I'm very excited about this piece. This is our patented mag mount suction cup. Ease of installation, setup and takedown. First thing I like to do is connect my radar detector to ESCORT Live, but today I'm going to be connecting it to my iPad. That way it's easier for you guys to see. First thing I do is go into devices. I will pair it, which I've already done. Then we'll go into settings. We're going to be driving today on a number of different conditions. I'd like to try out auto mode. Auto mode at 20 miles or less is a reduction in range. It will increase in range as you drive faster and increase your speed up to 65 miles per hour. So today through town, and even we'll test it on highway to show you guys how the auto mode works today. Okay, now that we got our system all set up, let's take it in the wild.
Red light camera.
That nice alert is letting me know that there's a red light camera I was approaching. That's courtesy of our Defender database. Up here has been a known location for K-band, and there it is. So let's go ahead and lock this location out. Okay, so we had to make a little bit of a shift. We did come out into the country roads. So we do have somebody on the road with a radar gun. He's going to shoot us. I'd like to show you what the experience is in a country road. We will be, I'll also like to show you the directional awareness. Now as we pass the police officer, we should gain directional awareness. So we'll truly understand where the threat is coming from. As you see, it moved to the rear. Okay, now we are staging a laser shot. I want to show you guys what it looks like when encountering a laser threat. Again, like the radar, we have somebody up the road, staged to the right. As we come in, he should shoot us, and we'll show you the actual alert. There you go. Typically, you want to slow down, get within reason of the speed limit. Again from behind. Well, folks, we did a little bit of city, we did a little bit of highway. Very impressed with this unit. 25 times more processing power than its predecessor. I'm very impressed with the accuracy, the directional awareness it provides. If you've never used directional awareness, I would highly recommend getting a Redline 360c that has the added of directional awareness. People really don't understand the value. The value comes when you're coming up to a threat. As you pass the potential threat and you're moving away, you'll have a true understanding if you're moving away from them. If you're on a highway, a police officer can be coming on from the rear or from the ramp, coming up behind you, and you'll have a better experience and understanding of the road, which will also make it a safer ride for you. A lot of times people with single head radar detectors forward facing, if they're knowingly going at a higher rate of speed, get an alert, knee-jerk reaction is to slam on the brakes, put the head on the swivel, try to find the police officer. It's not really the safest course of action, not recommended, but having true directional awareness, directional understanding of where that potential threat is definitely an added bonus. So I just finished my ride with the Redline 360c. Very impressive unit, extremely quiet. Where other radar detectors would false, this gem did not. We were able to drive through city, highway, country back roads. It was so quiet and effective, and lack of police officers on the roadway to get a true encounter. We did have to go to a staging where we shot both a radar gun and a laser gun to show you the experience along the way. Directional awareness is a must for me. Just understanding where the potential threat is huge for information, one, but two, safety. Now you know how to respond. The quietness of this unit is very impressive. The range, the sensitivity, was amazing. I highly recommend this unit.